Hi there, my name's Emma and today I'm going to talk to you about something called dementia. You might have heard your parents, teachers or other adults using this word around you but not know what it means. And that's okay, don't worry, I'm going to try and explain it all for you. I think the best place to start is with the brain. So what does a brain do you know? It does lots and lots of very clever things, trust me. As you grow up, you learn to do all sorts of amazing things, like how to walk, talk, eat, play. Even going to the toilet is something we all had to learn to do when we were young. All of the things that you learn each day get stored up in your brain so that you can remember them for next time. Even when you don't notice your brain working, it's helping you remember things like your birthday, or the answer to questions like, what colour is grass? Solving problems like, what is 6 plus 6? Even a silly question like, what's your name? Which seems simple and obvious, uses your brain to help you answer it. So let's quickly take a look inside a brain, not a real one, don't worry, and figure out what it helps us to do. Your brain is working hard all day and even during the night while you dream. It's in charge of us basically, telling us what to think, feel, say and do. There are different sections in the brain that each have their own job to do, so let's dive in. First of all, this blue section is called the frontal lobe. This is the boss of your brain and the rest of your body. It helps you make decisions and solve problems. It also helps you to control your feelings. So when you're happy, you can thank your frontal lobe, but when you're angry, you can blame your frontal lobe for that too. It helps make up your personality, and that means who you are. So are you chatty, shy, serious, funny? That's all down to your frontal lobe. Next, we have this yellow section, and this is called the parietal lobe. I want you to close your eyes, no peeking. Now, try and touch your nose. Could you do it? Your parietal lobe helped you do that. This part of the brain keeps track of your body parts and what they're doing. So, it stops you from bumping into things when you walk or knocking things over when you go to pick them up. It's also really helpful for putting things in the right order so that you can read, write and count properly. The third section in white is called the temporal lobe, and hidden in here we also have a section called the hippocampus, which sounds an awful lot like hippopotamus, I realise, but I don't think we'll find any of those hiding in here, don't worry. This section of the brain helps you understand everything you hear and see. It lets you recognise your friends and family and is really important for speaking because it helps you remember what words mean. The hippocampus is the part of the brain that lets you make new memories and helps you remember the old ones, like where you went on holiday last year. The last section here at the back of our brain in pink is called the occipital lobe. Your sense of sight is so important that your brain has a whole area just to help you understand what you see. All the information you see, like colours, shapes, movement and size, is sent here and compared to your memories to help you make sense of what you're seeing. So there you go! Your brain has all these amazing sections to help you do everything you could ever imagine. It's a pretty important part of your body, working away even when you don't realise it is. Even your brain can be tricked sometimes though. Look at this pattern. Can you see it moving? In fact, it's actually something called an optical illusion, which tricks your brain into thinking it's moving. But I think, if someone's brain really stopped working properly, or if it started working in a strange way, you would realise that something wasn't right, wouldn't you? Well, this is what happens in dementia. It's when a person's brain becomes unwell and isn't as good at helping them do all of these amazing things anymore. When a person has dementia, it's a bit like this. Their brain starts to forget the things that they learnt when they grew up, and that might make them start doing things that seem strange to you, like pouring milk into their wellies. Things that used to be easy for them become very confusing and difficult sometimes, which can be frightening for them and other people. So is dementia a kind of sickness then? Well, dementia isn't like chickenpox or the flu. You can't see it on the outside and you can't catch it from another person. So if someone in your family has it, it doesn't mean you'll get it too. It is a bit like being ill though, because someone with dementia needs people to look after them and support them, just like you do when you're sick and stay home from school. Dementia is normally seen in much older people who might be in their 70s, 80s or 90s. It's much less common in younger people, and even when people get older, Only 2 out of every 100 people aged 65 to 69 years old develop dementia. Doctors don't always know why some people get dementia and others don't, but they're working hard to figure that out. There are a few different illnesses that can cause dementia problems, and the main one is called Alzheimer's disease. Each illness affects a different part of the brain and so causes different problems for different people. Some people might start forgetting names or places. Some might find it hard to talk anymore. Others might get confused about where they are or ask the same questions over and over again. And some people might find it hard to control their moods and emotions. It's different for each person. These problems and difficulties tend to get worse over time, not better. And sadly, there's no cure that fixes the brain when it becomes unwell in this way. So once a person develops dementia, they will always have it. A person with dementia might change very quickly over time or very slowly over time, and this isn't anybody's fault and the person can't stop this from happening. If you know someone with dementia, it can be tricky to know what to do around them or what to say to them when they get confused. Well, the most important thing that you can do is keep spending time with them. And I know this might feel difficult sometimes. They might be in a bad mood or they might not remember who you are, but it can still mean an awful lot to have you there, even if it's just for a little while. There are lots of other children just like you that know somebody with dementia, so you don't ever need to feel alone or embarrassed to talk about it, and always ask questions when you need to. I hope this short video has helped you understand a little bit more about what our brains do and what happens to them when they become unwell with dementia. But if you still have some more questions, then talk to an adult and show them these links that have loads more information, books, and people that you can talk to about dementia and everything that it involves. Thank you for watching.